having found you guilty of each count as alleged in the indictment, and having set your punishment in count 1 at life in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice Institutional Division along with a $10,000 fine, it's hereby the order of that court that you be sentenced to life in the Institutional Division and a $10,000 fine be imposed. This sentence is imposed today, September 20th, 2018. You will receive 747 days credit for the time you've served prior to today. Court costs in this case are waived. That same jury has found you guilty in count 2 and has set your sentence at 20 years confinement in the Institutional Division of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice, and also has imposed a fine of $10,000 in that case. Therefore, the order of the court that you do be sentenced to the Institutional Division for a period of 20 years and a $10,000 fine be imposed. You'll also receive 747 days credit for the time you served in this case, and these cases will run concurrently. You may be seated. Are there victim impact statements?
Yes, sir, from both ends.
All right, those statements will be received by the court pursuant to the provisions of the Code of Criminal Procedure. The court reporter is instructed not to record the statements. You may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Where would you like them to stand?
If they're comfortable, that's fine.
Stand, whatever makes you. I'd rather stand.
We've had so many people that have come into our lives that changed our lives, but they changed them for the better. Each one of my kids have changed my life for the better. My husband changed my life for the better. And as a parent, I never thought in my wildest dreams, and I'd always taught my kids to say never say never. But as a parent, I never thought that I would be on this side, looking at the man who not only changed my daughter's life, but her family. And that would never, never be the same. I almost had pity on you. But it wasn't until I heard things that I hadn't heard since that day, that had you had more ammo, you would have killed our daughter. Don't talk to me. Don't talk to me. My daughter is a strong girl, and we didn't know how strong she was until that day. And even stronger on last Thursday. That's one thing you won't be able to take from her. And so when she grows up and she has children, I hope she can pass that same strength on to her kids. You're evil. You're an evil person. I taught my kids to look out for the bad people. Look out for the people who may try to get you to go somewhere with them. I've never had a conversation with them to look out for someone that may want to take your life. I was sorry at first that no one ever stood up and took the time to make sure you had what you needed in life. Because I knew they had to know something was wrong. Early in your childhood, I know they had to know that. Because as a parent, I know when something is wrong with my kids. And me and my husband do anything we can to make sure that we can fix it. And nobody did that for you. So I don't know to be more angry at you or to be angry with the people that should have been looking out for you. But being that they didn't, you were able and capable without second thought to do what you did.
As I sat here and listened to you talk, the first time I'd ever heard your voice. The only time I had ever seen your face before was in the mugshot, and then in the pretrial hearings that we would go to. When I saw you in that mugshot, when I saw you in court, you looked evil, you looked hateful, you looked twisted. Look at me, please. You looked twisted, you looked evil. I had no pity on you. All I could think about was what you took from us, who you took from us. After you went for some treatment while you were gone, while you were being medicated, while you were trying to help you, and when you came back into court for the next hearing after that, when you walked in the room, immediately I was struck by the difference that I saw in you, that I saw on your face. And as I watched you that day, and I watched you sit in court and listen to the seriousness of what you had done, it seemed to me that you had finally had a realization of what you had done. And to me, you looked like a scared, lost little boy who was grasping for hope. I couldn't help but be touched by that, but to feel pity for you, for what you had done, to be that twisted inside, that empty, that lack of anything good, that you could do something like that. Despite myself, I felt ashamed of myself. I felt ashamed of myself for feeling pity for you. I didn't even tell my wife, I didn't tell Bianca that I felt that way. I didn't find out till last night that Bianca also that day felt those same things. I was too ashamed and too embarrassed, please look at me, too ashamed and too embarrassed to tell me that we felt pity for you. Despite what you had done to our daughter, to Michaela, to all those kids that were out there that day, the impact on so many people, I still felt pity for you. We're still struggling to try to find a way to forgive you, to not carry hatred. In my heart, you're a human being. I try to treat the world the way I want the world to treat what I treasure the most. It's my children, my daughter. You'll never know the treasure, the greatest treasure, the only thing that matters in life. It's not material things, it's not titles, it's not wealth, it's not power. It's love, and there's no greater love than the love of parents and children, between parents and children. You'll never know that. For that, I pity you. Choices that you made that day. The only thing that you said that was right was about how beautiful Lauren was. How she was an angel. She really was. She was sent down as a blessing. Part of our test in life. When you have a love like that you obviously don't know, there's nothing greater than that. It's the only thing you're going to take with you out of this life. It's what you have in your heart. And I do pity you for what's in your heart or what's not in your heart. The choices you made caused so many other people to suffer. We have no choice. The grief that you gave us, we'll live with that until we die, until we go home and see our daughter. We don't have a choice. Choices that you made, you're going to suffer the consequences now. You're not going to know the greatest gift in life. You're not going to know what it feels like to be a father, to hold a baby, a child that you helped make. What you're going to know, fear, pain, humiliation for what you've done. And the ironic thing about that, if Lauren had known you, had known the pain you had inside of you, if you had been able to reach out like a human being, that this is a good person I see, this is somebody, a light that I see, a goodness, if you'd have reached out to her and let her know how empty and hateful you felt inside, Lauren would have been the first one to try to help you. That's who she was. She's everything good and hopeful about humanity that you're not. And you're not ever going to have a chance to prove that. But you made your own bed. I don't pity you for that. You made your own choices. You're going to suffer the consequences of those choices. It will never equal, no matter what pain you feel, it will never equal the pain of losing a child so senselessly. And yes, it was senseless. I've heard you use the term, what it's like to be a real man. Okay? You don't understand the first thing about being a real man. I think you do now. First thing you're doing, you're looking me in the eye. That's what a real man does. Okay? Not just pulling up on little girls with a gun, but being able to look me in the eye after what you've done. Maybe you have a spark of it. I do not wish the pain that you caused on your family, your mother, your father. I don't wish that on anyone. Okay? There's been a lot said about your parents and whether they were good parents or not good parents. I only know from a parent's perspective, at some point in your life, you were the center of their universe. Same way Lauren was the center of ours. Don't know what happened in your life to take you and make you do what you did that day. It allowed you to do what you did that day. And like I say, any excuse you gave or any reason you gave, it wouldn't matter. It wouldn't be enough. But to see the manner with which you described it, and again, I had never heard you talk until I saw your confession. I expected when I saw it that it might, I was hoping almost that it would be something, you were timid, you were hesitant, you were remorseful. You haven't shown any of that. And then to find out even after you were treated, even when you looked different to me, strikingly different, that you hadn't changed the way you think inside. Still smiling and laughing about what you did. There was nothing funny, nothing for you to be proud of that day. You stole our daughter from us physically, but you did not kill her spirit. As you contemplate the rest of your miserable existence that you brought upon yourself, I hope you follow the things that we're trying to do in our daughter's memory and in her honor to try to keep her spirit alive and to spread that and to try to prevent, not just deal with consequences, but try to prevent tragedy like this from ever happening again. To try to make sure there aren't people like you out there preying on innocent people. And we don't mean by physical violence stopping you. We have to touch people's hearts. And that's the problem with the world. People don't look at each other as human beings. They don't treat each other like human beings. We divide ourselves, and again, we approach life as a contest. What can I do for me? What can I do for me? That's not what life is about. That's not what being a man is about. If you have all the power in the world, but that doesn't make you a man. What makes you a man is what's inside your heart. Your empathy for other human beings. And the desire not to hurt anybody, that shouldn't even be an issue. But how can I help? How can I help somebody? I don't know if there is help for you. And I do feel pity for that. But that's your choice. You brought that on yourself. We all have to live with your choice that day. I hope within your heart that you're able to reconcile what you've done. Quit feeling sorry for yourself. Start thinking about what you've done to others. Because whatever's in your heart, that's the only thing you're going to take with you when you leave.
The defendant is remanded to the custody of the Sheriff of Tarrant County to be transferred to Wichita County later today and then to the institutional division so that his sentence may be carried out. This court's adjourned.